This is Kishore and welcome back to Kishorelytics. In this video, we are going to dive something exciting and very interesting concept called the case statements. Have you guys learned about the if-else statements in Python, right? That's what we are going to learn, the if-else statements in SQL. That's the case statements. I don't want to take much time off you guys. Let's dive into it. Yes guys, in this video we are going to dive something exciting and very interesting concept called the case statements. Have you guys learned about the if-else statements in Python, right? Now we are going to learn about the if-else statements in SQL. So now let's dive into it. That's the case statement. So in this today's agenda, we are going to learn about the case statement, and we are going to learn about the both theoretical as well as the practical knowledge. And there are some quiz spot has been available in the Kishorelytics LMS portal, and now I'm introducing the LMS portal for the Kishorelytics. You can go into this link. I'm just giving the link to the Kishorelytics portal in description also. You can go to that portal and you can register your account, and after registering your account you can go to the practice tab and you can take the practice in that portal. Later I'm show the UI and how to register the account. Later I will show that also. So now let's dive into the topic of the case statements. Now let's dive into the case when. So what is meant by the case when, right? So now let's learn about the syntax of the case when, and we are going to learn about how the case when statements works begin the skins. Now let's learn about the syntax. So what is meant by the case statements, right? Case statement is nothing but the if-else statement, right? As we already discussed in the few minutes ago, we have discussed, right? Case when is equal to, it is in the SQL if in the other language, right? If else statements in other language. So now the syntax, first we want to write about the case, right? Case means it is the state of the logic. The state of the logic starts here. Case when, right? Case, the state of the logic is starts with the case, and the condition should be evaluated, right? When the condition should be evaluated when condition 1, here the condition 1, if the condition 1 is true, then the result 1. Again, I am giving the if. It is mean by the in SQL it is when. If in many other languages it is called if, and the second statement is called the else if in any other languages. In SQL, when condition 2, if the condition 2 is false true, it becomes true means then the result 2 is happened. Again the else part, it is a default value optional. If the none of the when conditions are passed, if the above statements are means always passed, then the else statement is getting executed. And at the last, the end of the logic. This is the end of the logic. This is the syntax of the case statement syntax. So now let's dive into the, wait a minute guys, now let's dive into that next part. Yes guys, now let's learn about the use cases of the case when statements. So where the case when statement used, right? You're asking, right? Where it can be used, we can create the new categories column based on new conditions. Based on the condition we can create a new column, right? Based on, you see an example, I am writing a statement case when sales greater than, this is the database, consider this is the database, consider case when sales greater than or equal to 100, then I want the column called I. When the sales greater than or equal to 50, I just want the medium, else the condition is low and we are ending the logic. That's all about the code. And now we are creating a new column, right? We are creating a new column based on the condition. Here the condition, let me write the column name as a condition, and we are going in the condition checks the code when the whether this is the query get executed in the database, and the condition checks whether the sales is greater than or equal to 100. Yes, the sales is greater than or equal to 100, right? So here I want to put like I, and again the condition number stops, and again it will be get into the database and checks whether the second value is greater than or equal to 100. Yes, no, the first condition is failed, right? The second, it will be get into the second condition, if fails, else if, right? So it will checks whether the condition second value is greater than or equal to 50. Yes, the second value is greater than or equal to 50. Then I want to print it the new column as a medium. Likewise, it can be executed, right? We can create a new column based on the condition. So again, the third condition, whether the sales greater than or equal to 100. No, the first condition is false. And the second condition, wait, let's get in the second condition. And the second condition, whether the sales is greater than or equal to 50. No, the sales is the sales is greater than or equal to 50, right? So here I want to write it down as medium. Again, we want to write whether the sales greater than or equal to 100. No, the sales is doesn't greater than or equal to 100. And again it will check in the second conditions whether the sales is greater than or equal to 50. Yes, the sales is greater than or equal to 50. I want to print it out as the medium. Again, now it will get into the last condition and whether the cells is greater than or equal to 100. Yes, the first condition itself true, right? I don't want to get into the second condition, so here I want to put it as I. Now we are categorizing a new column based on the new condition. We are on the condition we are categorizing a new column, right? That's the use case of the case when statements, right? So the again when the SQL statements are in categories in SQL, the case when statements. I'm going to write it down. I think this is not visible, right? The case statements in SQL may categorize the new columns, categorize the values also. We can categorize the values also in the based on the condition. Based on the condition. Based on the condition, we can categorize the new columns, new values also. Here, I'm going to write case when country is equal to Germany. I just want to print it as D. I just want to print it the short name of the Germany. When the country is equal to France, I just want to print it as a FR. When the country is equal to Italy, I just want to print it out as the IT. Else, I don't want to print it. It is nothing NA. Okay, the end of the logic is N. Okay, now it will get into the database and whether it checks whether the first value is greater than or Germany. Whether the first value is Germany, then it will be printed as the DE. Right, again it will check get into the second country and it will check whether it is France, right? If France means we want to print it out as the FR. Again it will be getting to the another value is whether we are categorizing the values, right? We are getting the Germany to the small values. We are categorizing the values also use cases of the case statements. So likewise here also, here I am the second example. Case when country is equal to F, then female. When the country is equal to, here I just want to get it as the gender, right? That's what I just take this picture in my internet. The credit goes to the internet, right? When the gender is equal to F, then it is female. When the gender is equal to male, M. When the gender is equal to M, I just want to print it as a male, right? It will be printed. If it is F means I just want to print it as a female. If it is the M means I just want to print it as the male, right? If it is nothing means I just want to print it as the NA. The third condition works, right? Third condition else part. That's what the case when statements works, right? I'm just explaining very clearly, right? So likewise, we are creating new values, new columns, new values also based on the conditions, right? Here also, as the previous example itself told, case when country is equal to Germany, then we can print as a DE. When the country is equal to India, I just want to print it as a IN. When the country is equal to United States, then I just want to print it as the US. When the country is equal to France, I just want to print it as the FR, right? When the country is equal to Italy, I just want to print it out the IT. Else, the condition is nothing. N, I just want to end it out. This is a full form, right? I just want to keep it as a short as possible, right? So I just categorize this into case. Here itself, I just categorizing. I am categorizing only one column. So I'm just that column can be placed by here. The column name to be evaluated only one means you can write it down here. The column name value compared. So we can write it down. Case country when Germany, then when Germany. Here when the country equal to Germany, here we are going to check only one column only, right? So the case country in the country column, whether it is a Germany means I just want to print it out the D. Whether it is the India means I just want to print it out the IN. Whether it is a United States means I just want to print it out the US. Whether it is a France means I just want to print it out as the FR. Whether it is a Italy means I just want to print it out as the IT. Else nothing. Likewise, it is a quick form, right? I just want to again and again when country equal to country equal to country equal to here case country in the country when you are evaluating only one column means this form you should be very useful, right, guys? It is very important. That's what I came with this visual. So how it works? Let's get into it. So case when sales greater than or equal to 50, then I end. That's all. It will be the flow diagram. It is a flow chart, right? Basically the flowchart when it comes between the if else statement. Likewise case it will be condition get into whether it checks whether the sales greater than or equal to 50, greater than 50. Whether the sales is greater than 50 means it just want to print it out as I. Whether it is false means it is the end of statement. That's what the flowchart works. Now let's get into it. So it is in the example it is the sales and the case. So it will check, the database will check, the query will check, and whether the sales is greater than 50. Yes, the sales is greater than 50. I just want to print it out as the I. Whether the sales is greater than 50? No. In the second value, the sales is not greater than 50. So there is no condition. There is only one condition when the sales is greater than 50. I just want to print it as I. And end the end of the statement is comes. So I just want to print it out as the null. When there is a no condition, now if you want to note it down, when there is no condition give means the value can be accepted as a null. That's what in this visual I want to say to you the information. Say the information to you guys. When there is no condition, when there is only one condition and there is another condition comes means it goes to the null part. That's what in this visual you can able to see. So again, let's get into the two values, and here when the sales is greater than 50, when the sales is greater than 50, then it is I. When the sales is greater than 20, it is when the sales is greater than 20 means it's also a medium. And again it just come with an end statement, right? Here I'm getting into it. When the sales is greater than 50, yes, the sales is greater than 50. If it is true means it is I. And when the sales is greater than 50, it not means the condition fails means it get in the second condition and will checks whether the sales is greater than 20. I just want to see whether the sales is greater than 20. If it is true means I just want to print it out as the medium. And if the second condition is also false means I just want directly get into the end of the statement. That's what the two conditions, the flowchart of this visuals and the flowchart of this query, how it works. Now let's get in the example. This is the sales. This is the sales, and now let's get in the case. So the query comes here and will be checked whether the sales is greater than 50. Yes, the sales is greater than 50, and I just want to print it out as the I. But and it get into the second value. Again, the query doesn't end. And it get in the second value, and it will checks whether the second value is greater than 50. No, the second value is greater than 50. No, the condition fails. Right, the condition fails. Right, and it will get into the second condition. So whether the sales is greater than 20, yes, the sales is greater than 20. It is passed, right? So it will be getting into the condition called medium. It will get into the condition called medium. And the query doesn't end. It get into the third value and it will checks whether the sales is greater than 50. No, the condition false. Here itself the condition false. It get into the second value whether the condition is greater than 20. No, the condition is less than 20, right? So the second condition also false. So it get into the end of the statement. As when there is no condition for this means when there is no else part means you can the query answer it is a null part. It consider it as a null. When there is a null means it is also null. Okay, that's all about this visual. Now let's get in the else part. Now let's come with an else. When both the condition also false means I just want to print it out as a null. To avoid the null, so we are come with an low else part. So that's what the else comes. So here also I'm just come with an case. When sales is greater than 50, then it is high. When the sales greater than 20, then it is medium. When the sales else, when the two condition is also when the both the condition when the above condition itself fails means I just want to print it as a low. That's all about the end of the logic, right? Now let's get in the flow chart of this. Let's start with an example and later we will connect with the flow chart. So now the query comes here whether it checks whether the sales is greater than 50. Yes, the sales is greater than 50. Whether the condition checks here whether the sales is 50. Yes, the sales is greater than 50. So it is true and the condition ends and it will be printing as the I. So I just want to print it out as the I. And the second query doesn't end, since you get into the second value. You get into the second value and it will be checks whether the sales is greater than 50. No, the condition doesn't fails, right? It gets into the second condition and whether it checks whether the sales is greater than 20. Yes, the sales is greater than 20. It gets into the 1 minute, guys. Whether the sales is greater than 20, yes, it is passed, right? So that's all. And now, yes, guys. And second condition checks whether the sales is greater than 20. Yes, the second condition is greater than 20, right? So it will be getting into the second condition and it will print it as a medium. So I just write it down as the medium. And again the query doesn't indicate in the third value and it will check whether the sales is greater than 50. Whether the sales is greater than 50. No, the sales is nothing greater than 50. It gets in the second condition. And whether it checks whether the sales is greater than 20. No, the second condition also fails. If the second condition also fails, there is an else part, right? So that's why the low. I just want to print it out as the low. That's what the case statements works. If it is null means there is also null. That's what, guys, this null. So now let's get into the conclusions of the case statements. So where is the conclusion statement used and what is the use cases of this and what are the rules? Now let's discuss. So in this video we are discussing about the case statements, and it evaluates the list of conditions based and returns the value. Basically, in the first slide itself we discussed, it is based on the condition we can create a new column. Based on the condition we can create a new values also in the existing column. That's what the case statements comes, right? So the rules, and the only one rule is the data type of the result must be matching. The data type of the result must be matching. That's what the rules of this case statements. And now the use cases is all about the derive new information. We can create a new column, and we can create the new existing values, like we are discussed about when Germany, India, like we discussed, right? We are categorizing the values, right? We are categorizing the data based on the column. When we where it is useful means when we grouping the data, it can be useful. When case statements, it can be useful. And mapping the values, when Germany means I just want to print it as a DE. Likewise, we can handle the nulls also in these use cases. That's what the case statement works. I think we have entered the theoretical part of this theoretical part of the case statements. Now let's get into the practical part. Now let's dive into it. Yes guys, now let's dive into the practical part of the case statements. Now I just come with the use cases and the task. There are 5 tasks. I just show the code, right? After you want to see the output in your computer. I just already gave the database and the notes, scripts. All the notes and all the scripts are available in the description box and in my GitHub repository. Just go and download this and import it into the databases and practice with that, right? So now let's dive into it. So the use cases for the first task is categorizing the data, right? As we previously discussed, right? So categorizing the data, right? Categorizing the data. This is a part, right? Categorizing the data is the first use cases. Categorizing the data, right? So that's what the use cases of the first task. Create a report showing the total sales for each category. Like sales over 50. Sales between 20 and 50 means I just want to print it out as a medium. Sales less than 20 or less than or equal to 20. So that means I just want to print it out as a low. The results are sorted from the highest to lowest order total sales. So this is the task, guys. So pause the video and take the notes and practice with in your Microsoft SQL server and just came back. And now I believe you guys are done with this task, and now let's dive into it. And just want to predict, right? Select category sum of sales as total sales from which is where it's come from. Select order ID sales, and here the case statement comes. Case when sales greater than or equal to 50. When the sales greater than or equal to 50, I just want to print it out as the I. When the sales greater than or equal to 20 means I just want to print it out as the medium. Else I just want to print it out as the low, right? We are creating the categorizing the data. We are sum of the grouping the sales. When after grouping the sum of the sales, I just want to print when the sum of the sales is greater than 50, I just want to print it out as I. When the sum of the sales is greater than 20, I just want to print it out as medium. Else these sales are low, I just want to print it out as the low. Right? We are grouping the category order by total sales. That's what the first statements comes here. See if the command executed successfully, and I just don't want to show the output, right? You just want to see the output in your screen. So just go and practice this code along with me. So now let's dive into the second use cases. What is the second use cases? It's just mapping, right? We are going to mapping the values. That's what the second customer. Retrieve customer details with the abbreviated country codes. We are mapping the values, right? Here the country codes comes. Select customer ID, first name, last name, country. Where case, here the main hero of this video comes here. Case when country equal to Germany, I just want to print it out as the DE. When the country is equal to USA, I just want to print it out as the US. Else I just want to nothing, right? End as the country the column name as I just keeping as the country ABBR abbreviations from sales of country. This is what the second statements use cases mapping comes here. And now let's dive into the third task. It is a quick form syntax, right? So select customer. This is when country. I just want to repeat again and again, right? This has been shown in my visuals itself. What are the practical knowledge we are going to learn that has been already previously learned in the theoretical part. That's Kishorelytics, and subscribe to the Kishorelytics channel, guys. So I just want to write a country equal to Germany, country equal to USA again and again. I don't want to write country equal to Germany, country equal to. I just want to write one country again. I am using that country again and again. That's what the quick form of the syntax comes here. Case when country equal to Germany. Well, this is not the, I think so. Here itself I am just writing case country, case country. Wait a minute, guys. Country is country. When country is equal to, I just don't want to, when it is Germany means I just want to print it out as the, when Germany I just want to print it out as the DE. When country USA I just want to print it out as the US. Likewise, see here itself I am now also writing this also. I just want to write it also, right? I don't want to print it out. Okay, case when country is equal to Germany means I just want to country. I don't want to like that. Case country when Germany I just want to print it out as the DE. When it is USA I just want to print it out as the US. Else I just don't want, right? Nothing. That's what the quick form syntax comes here. Now let's dive into the handling nulls. How to handle the nulls, guys? How to handle the nulls? Now let's dive into it. Calculate the average scores of the customers, treating nulls as a 0. I don't want to keep the nulls. I just want to treat the nulls as a 0. That's what the use cases of the case statements comes here. The main agenda, and provides a customer ID and the last name details. I just want to print the select. I just want to print taking the fetching the results from the database as a customer's ID, last name. I just want to customer's ID and last name details. Scores. Case when scores is null. When the score is null means I just want to treat it as a null, right? Treat it as a 0. I want to treating null as a 0. That's what the this comes here. Else scores. End as the score clean average case. Average also I just want to treat it as a 0, right? And when the scores is null then 0, else scores. This is the condition. Yeah, handling nulls task comes here. And now the conditional aggregations, right? So now let's dive into it. Count how many orders each customers made with the sales greater than 30. Count how many orders each customer made. Each customers made how many orders with sales greater than 30. I just want to group buying it. Conditional aggregation. We are group buying the conditions, right? If I select customers, sum of case when sales is greater than 30. Then I just want to print it out. I am just keeping as it is a true. One means it is a true, right? So this one I want to take these use cases. One means true, else it is a false. Case when sales sum of the sales greater than 30 means I just want to keep that column as a true. Again I just the sum of sales is doesn't greater than 30. I remove that column, remove the column. That's what the total order I sales. We are group buying conditional aggregation. That's what the conditional aggregation comes here. And count, I just want to count how many true columns sales greater than 30 comes here. And sum of from sales order group buying. We are group buying it as the customer's ID. So I don't want to leave like this, right? Let me wait a minute, guys. I just write it down. After you can see clearly. Okay. Fine. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Slideshow from slide. Okay. What is the use cases? See, when the customer's ID, I'm just creating some database. Creating this database. ID sales. I'm just creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Again 1, 2, 3 for duplicating grouping the columns, right? That's what I'm creating again and again. So the first column is 10. I'm just keeping 20, 10, 5, 2, 1, 1, 1. I'm keep it as 2. Okay, fine. What is the sales for 1? Let me check whether the select. I just selecting the customer's ID, right? I just selecting the customer's ID. When the sales greater than 30, the sales is greater than 30 means only I just want to print it as true. Here 1 customer's ID 1 is 10, and again it is again here 11, right? That's all about the customer's ID 1. 1 means here 1, 2 customer's ID 2, 20, 22, and the customer's ID 3, 11, right? And the customer ID 4, the sum of the sales. I'm just creating the sum of the sales. That's what this comes here. 4 customer's ID 4 is come with an 5 and sales, and customer's ID 5 is come with an 2, I think so, right? So this is what it happens here. the customer's ID. We are grouping when the sales is greater than 30. I just want to print it as 1. Here, consider, and this is not the value. Consider this is 30, greater than 30. This is 40, and this is 32. Likewise, consider means this is considered as 1. This is considered as 1. Again, my remaining values are considered as 0. And again, I want to count how many values are greater than 30. Whether two values are 1, right? So there is a 2 values. The output has been 2. That's what the query, how the query works. I think I clearly explained very clearly, right? So that's what the fifth task, count how many orders each customers made with an sales greater than 30. Okay guys, I just completed with I have some notes and I have some sketches and a theoretical part. I just clearly explain everything, right? I just clearly explain everything from this to this sales case statement use cases, and we have created how the case 1 condition, 2 condition, else condition, and how the query works, begin the scheme, and grouping the mapping the values, and we are creating a val where the case new column, we are creating the new columns new based on new values we have created, and we have explained about the task, some task, right? I just want to create this task and upload it in my portal. So I don't want to leave that like creating watching the video. I just want to you also practice, right? So we created in our Kishorelytics. I created the portal called LMS. Just go to the browser and type what I type in my browser: Kishorelytics.versal.app. Okay, fine. Wait a minute, guys. It is loading, right? So this is the interface of the Kishorelytics, and welcome to the Kishorelytics, guys. And subscribe to the Kishorelytics. This is our YouTube channel. And why Kishorelytics is completely free and project-based learning, and it's open source. Everyone can learn, and skills in the skills you can learn everything, right? So that's what the homepage works. And now you are new to the Kishorelytics LMS portal, right? And it is completely free. You don't want to pay a single money for me, guys. You don't want to pay a single money. Just come this link. I just give this link in my description box. Just go to this link and just give the sign up button. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. So this is Steve Boss. I'm the big fan of Steve Boss, guys. So now that I am the new user, I just creating the already I have a account, right? I think so. Kishore Kannan just creating. Okay, fine. So if you are the new user, just create an account with a username, right? Just give the real name. Don't give Rowdy Baby like that, like you tell. So Kishore Kannan at Kishorelytics.com. Just a minute, guys. Yes, guys, just come with a portal. I'm just giving my ID. You can give your ID and just create with a simple password. I don't want password. I'm just creating the account. Yes, guys, the account has been created successfully. So now this is the interface. Good afternoon, Kishore Kannan. This is how many courses are you are enrolled and course started, the course taken, and your average course. And in the dashboard, you want to ask whether you are going to learn, whether you are going to practice, whether you are going to taking the notes. So if you want to learn, if you want to watch our videos, means just go to the learn. If you want to take the practice sessions, you want to attend the quiz, you want to compile the code, just go with the practice. If you want to our notes, means our GitHub repository, what are the notes I've just teaching in my notes section, just go to the notes. Now if you are going to take the practice, right? So this is the practice sessions I have enabled from now. If you see from tomorrow, means I just want to create another, likewise. Okay, guys, now there are many works in my portal. I just go with another portal, just create an account. So from if you get watch this video, now the portal has been available publicly, right? So this is the portal, right? So now let's dive into it. So this is Kishore and signing up from Kishorelytics channel. Tata, bye bye. Just create an account and take a quiz. I just clear all the bugs and deep bugs in my portal. Just take a quiz and create an account, watch notes and take my notes, and you can take the reports also. How many you are progressed, all the results also you can take. So now that's about the video. I just come back with the next Tuesday. Tata, bye bye.